The surprising reason astronomers are vital in legal proceedings. This is by Braid Tucker on The Conversation on Science Alert. Over the past 8 years, he says, I have been asked to submit astronomical evidence for court cases all over Australia. Normally, when we think of evidence in court, we think of eyewitnesses, DNA, or police reports. Often this evidence requires an expert to explain it and to be able to communicate the findings and data to the members of the court to make an informed decision. And these experts are typically in medicine, engineering, psychology, or other fields. Expert astronomers usually are not what one pictures in court, but that is exactly what I do, he says. The first time I was asked by police to do it came as a bit of a surprise. I had never thought about applying astronomy to the courtroom. Once the first group knew I could do it, more and more requests came in from colleagues in the same police force or division, or investigators having seen my evidence elsewhere. And now I'm asked to submit evidence for roughly 1 to 2 cases every week. Usually this requires submitting a statement of evidence to the court, but sometimes I'm asked to attend court and explain what the evidence means. When I'm needed as an expert in court, it tends to be for matters of consequence. My evidence is either critical to a part of the case, or the case itself is fairly major and all the details are being checked and verified. But what exactly am I providing evidence for? Tracking the sun and the moon. Most court evidence from the astronomer involves calculating the position and lighting from an astronomical body, for example, the shadows of the sun or the moon, moonlight, what kind of lighting there was at night. Luckily, the tools we use to calculate the position of celestial bodies are very accurate and can be calculated hundreds of thousands of years into the past or future. An obvious example is when someone claims the sun was in their eyes, causing a glare, and they get into a car accident. Someone needs to say where the sun was, its position, and how it's aligned with the street or the direction of travel. At certain times and in certain directions, the sun may indeed hinder someone's vision. There's also the situation where someone sees something, but it happened around sunrise or sunset. An expert is needed to say what the lighting level was, as there are very clear definitions based on the sun's position below the horizon and how much you can see. For instance, what if the event occurred 5 minutes after sunset? The light level depends on the time of the year, the location, and other factors. It's not a clear-cut case of daytime versus nighttime. The moon can feature in court evidence as well, especially in dark locations, away from city lights. An astronomer can provide evidence on how much light the moon provided on a given night. There are also historical cases or times when people note the view or phase of the moon as a way of defining when something happened. The full moon has a precise definition, but the day before or after may appear to look like a full moon, despite it not technically being full. The limitations of expertise. Of course, like any part of science, there are limits to what I can say. If someone was looking through a window, how refractive was the window? Were there clouds blocking the moon or the sun? It's up to other experts to report this, and other parts of the legal system to sort out these factors as well. And just like many fields, space technology is changing, and so too is its impact on law and crime. Satellites are being used more and more in cases to help track things as they happen. For example, the space technology company Maxar operates some of the highest resolution commercial satellites in the Earth. For a small cost, people can task these satellites to look at certain areas and or times. And lately we have seen the impact of satellites on Russia's war in Ukraine and how they have been instrumental looking at troop movements and even evidence of some of the what was going on. Satellite images have been used for a range of criminal investigations such as people smuggling or illegal mines, and they are also being used in Australia for criminal matters. This is yet another situation where an expert is needed to explain the satellite imagery and what it means, or even help access it altogether. Experts are vital. Working as an expert witness has given me hope because I see the extent to which the justice system will sometimes go to get all the details right, like taking into account the phase of the moon or the position of the sun. It's also the perfect example of the importance of experts in our society. In science, we're actively encouraging people to get to sources of accurate and trustworthy information, especially in the area of rife misinformation. Now, through experts' fields like space and astronomy, they can impact people's lives directly, even in the court, as we can say. And this is by Brad Tucker, astrophysicist, Australian National University. This is from the conversation under Creative Commons on Science Alert. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.